I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with the cattle market summary for the week ending June the 2nd. Not bad for a holiday week, right? The board was up every day on both live cattle and feeder cattle, making huge gains. Fat cattle made huge gains. Feeder cattle, just giant leaps. Just really kind of unexpected too here, but we are at the time of the year where we see our best beef demand, and that's what's really driving all this is outstanding beef demand and good sales of cutouts. But you look at the board live cattle futures, the August contract, of course everything was closed on Monday due to Memorial Day, and really we kind of came into that week with a downer because we had a cattle and feed report that was slightly bearish the Friday before the holiday, and the board was down hard, if you remember that. So you know, most of your auctions even on Tuesday, they were all closed on Monday of course, but on Tuesday didn't have a lot of cattle because guys were scared to sell them. But boy, were they surprised to see what happened through the week. But your August contracts on live cattle, Tuesday was up 90, Wednesday up $1.85, Thursday up the $3 limit, Friday up $1.35 to end the week with the August contracts at $126.05, up $7.10 for the week. Your June spot live cattle futures $130.82, and now that's going to be about a $5.50 basis to what the weighted average is going to be for last week's trade. Feeder cattle futures, the August contract there closed Monday, Tuesday up $2.97. Wednesday up $2.65, Thursday up the $4.50 limit, Friday up $1.65 to end the week at $158.72 on the August contracts, up $11.77. That's just huge gains there. But your fat cattle trade for last week through Thursday, and most of your trade was done on Thursday, 85,500 head. But it wouldn't surprise me a bit if we had close to 100,000 head or more, because they were still selling cattle Friday afternoon, even Saturday at the top of the market. So these packers evidently didn't get all that they needed or all they wanted, and you could still get that top price as late as you wanted to. But most of your live fats ended the week. They started out 135 or 6, but ended the week 137, 137 and a half up in the northern plains late. That's $5 higher for the most part, but your weighted average is going to be around 136 and a quarter. Your dress sales range 215 to 216 late. That was $6 to $7 higher with the weighted average there, somewhere around 215.15. But we'll see what that is Monday when the final results from last week's trade come out. But box beef cutout values, the average for last week's trades on choice carcasses, $245.40, down 88 cents, but that's no big deal. Selects, $218.23, down $1.98. Now that's on the average of last week's sales compared to the average of the previous week's sales. But your ribeyes through last week hit an all-time record high on boneless ribeyes, and that's just how short they are on the choice quality product, because there's just not many of them out there. We're still killing cattle with not very many days on them, and we kind of went through all the cattle that looked like they were going to grade whenever they were trying to fill all those contracts that they had written early in the spring that have been delivering here the last several weeks. But demand is really peaking, and it normally does this time of year. Grilling is starting. We've had our Memorial Day holiday. We've got Mother's Day coming up, Father's Day, and we've got 4th of July coming down the road here. So we've just got a lot of grilling type holidays out there, and early in the summer is when people really like to grill out, because you get late in the summer and it just gets too hot to do it, and a lot of people want to eat something lighter. But you saw an historic spread on the Choice Select, 28.36. Earlier in the week it hit that all-time spread there, and that's the widest it's been since we've had mandatory price reporting, which is the way that they put all that together now. But slaughter was big for last week for a holiday week, 550,000 compared to the same holiday week last year. It was 23,000 larger. Your real-time index on feeder cattle ended the week at 147.63. That's based on an 800 pounder, but you can see the average on those is a little over 800 pounds, so you could probably tack a little more on there. But your cash feeders, for the most part, $3 to $6 higher. There were some late week markets there, Wednesday and Thursday, that could have been a bit higher than that, but really your best test is there at OKC West, and they had a big run compared to a big run, and they had an awful good market, and it was 3 to 6 higher, and that's a pretty good way to test it right there. It was hard to get a grip on anything later than that, because a lot of things were kind of slowing down on Friday. Didn't have a lot of big sales, but we did have one really big one at Fort Pierre, South Dakota. 11,800 head for their 20th annual World Livestock Auctioneer Championship contest. I remember that very well. I can't believe it's been 20 years ago, but they had a big sale because they were hosting the Auctioneer Championship there that LMA puts on, and they were hosting that. And then because so many of the world's best bronc riders come from that part of the country, they had a big bronc riding afterwards, and really had a good time. But Fort Pierre's been having an anniversary special of that sale every year, and now they're up to 20 years, and they had a heck of a sale. They sold feeder steers 8 to 12 higher, and feeder heifers 10 to 12 higher on your bigger weights than the last sale they had, which was 2 weeks ago. In that, they had 1,278 head of 9-weight steers that averaged 150.22. But we're expecting your Monday sales to get back on track here after being closed last Monday. Joplin's expecting 9,500 head. I'm sure Oklahoma City at the stockyards will have a big sale too. And then you should see some huge gains there because they missed out on last week's market and got to catch up with all the other sales around. But Friday, an individual quote, 2:20 in the afternoon last Friday. Torrington Livestock Markets in Torrington, Wyoming had 51 head of 1,018 pound steers, bring 153.50. Figure that up, that's $1,562 a head. And that's their week's markets there from my home office here in Canyon, Texas. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.